Hey guys, it's Abby, and today we are going to be setting up my February 2020 bullet journal. So if you're interested, keep watching to know more about my setup, my materials for the month, and my overall theme. So I'm just laying out some of the materials I will be using. I thought I'd share it initially because also personally I don't use all the things in my stash, and I think this is the best way that I can sort of figure out which ones I want to use and I will end up using for this setup. So you see here that overall my spreads are actually in the color scheme of maybe pink and red. Initially I wanted to go for that, but apparently I don't really have a lot of pink highlighters and pink pens. I do have a lot of pink stationery, so I thought I'd use that. And if you're wondering, of course I am using it because it's a very cheesy theme, and it's also because it's Valentine's and I wanted to sort of put the whole idea of self-love, but you will see in the later spreads that I don't end up using it. So anyway, whatever. I just think setting a good color scheme is really important, well, at least for me, because I get to use the same, like I get to rotate all of the materials I have, and at the same time I can also be imaginative and creative in working on my spreads. So I think this is the only pink pen that I have, but it's pretty vibrant. I also created washi samplers from my set that are very pink pastel-y, and I have this like minimalist sticker seals and stickers that are very much in theme, as well as black and white stickers that I made way back. And this one is from Sostennegrene, as well as this one is from Edie from Berlin. So I do have a lot of different materials that I've collected from most of my travels, so I think that is gonna be my stash for this month's bullet journal spread. So let me just set this aside and let's start. So yeah, as you've seen my previous setup, I will link it down below for you for reference. But yeah, we're gonna start on a fresh new spread, and it's always so satisfying to be able to flip the page and see a new page. I don't know, I really like it. I forgot to add this earlier, but this is one of my washi tape designs. They are featuring tarot elements, so I'm really into tarot, so I wanted to incorporate some of that here. This stamp I'm using is from Sakura Lala. I will link her Instagram down below. She gave this to me. I think this is a treasure box stamp set, which is like a collaboration between 4 different artists. I really love the designs. And yeah, I wanted to just play around with the whole theme and at the same time the color scheme for the February cover page. I'm not really too particular with what kind of feel I want to give out, but I do know it's a hodgepodge of all the things that I like, and as long as everything is sort of laid out properly, I think I've learned this from doing a lot of collage journaling, that I want to be able to fill up a page but not to the extent where it sort of overflows. Here I'm using this Shikiori pen to label my February. I recently discovered this pen and I really love it. I got it from Tokyo Hands, I believe, and they have a lot of colors, but I decided to get this sort of deep red. I also have a orangey yellow dandelion-ish color, and also this like faded navy blue, which I really love because it's sort of bluish gray. And the tip is really perfect. This is also by Sailor, so I really know it's a great brand. So yeah, I'm keeping my cover very simple, cover page very simple. I usually just do one side, and I decided to do it on the right side this time because on the next spread later I will be doing a monthly overview, which is actually very new for me. So let's flip over to the next page. And sorry, I was supposed to do the monthly view here, but since you see that the ink is overflowing to the next page, I just decided to cover it with some sticky notes and a postcard that I have from my collection. I think this is one of the reasons why I like collecting a lot of random things, because I can still stick them on my notebooks and journals. And yeah, I think we're gonna start with the content ideas page. Let me just share with you that this pen is dual tip and I really love it. So as you can see on the thinner part, I am using it for doing my hand lettering, which is really nifty, and I love the tip. It's not too thin, it's also not too thick, and when you write it on the paper, it's actually very smooth, which is so satisfying for me, especially because I'm very particular with penmanship. And I'm also using my Zebra Sarasa all the time. As usual, I'm using the vintage red color. Also, for the record, I finally got myself a pretty decent ruler. This is a Midori ruler that I saw in Tokyo Hands when I was on layover in Changi Airport in Singapore in Jewel, because I really didn't like my previous ruler. It was a random ruler that I picked up before, and this one extends to 12 inches, so it's really convenient for me, especially if I want to rule out some stuff that are longer than the usual notebook. So with regards to my content ideas, as usual, I'm also always listing down my ideas. Some of these have been on my list for a pretty long time, and it was based off from last month, and you will see here that it's actually not in sequence. I just randomly put this as like an idea dump, and with this I'll be able to see it in a listicle style, that all the content that I have in mind, not just for, actually this is mostly for YouTube, but I would also probably include more at the bottom related to Instagram and other things that I want to share online, just so I can see if everything is sort of at par and at, you know, they're all friends. Because generally when I make content, I don't try to make something that deviates immediately from everyone else, because you don't want something to stand out and then, you know, it sort of doesn't blend with what I do. And that's what I always try to avoid when I make content. I sort of work around the same circle and then, you know, just branch out from there. I think it's a lot of mind mapping, basically. I can talk about content all day because I love creating content and really brainstorming. I have that kind of like background because I worked as a strategic planner when I was in my advertising agency. But yeah, I think generally, it's really all about making sure that I still cover the areas that have not been covered. So next, I'm doing my monthly spread, and this is actually very daunting for me because I'm not really good with, you know, doing the measurements and everything. So I decided to just plot out some stickers, copy my Hobonichi Weeks monthly setup, and I actually did some measurements with my pencil just so everything is neat. And I couldn't find my gray pen, hence I used this like periwinkle color, which is why I was explaining to you that initially it was supposed to be pink and red, but now it's like pink, red, blue, and this periwinkle color, which I really don't mind because they sort of still fit within the realm of the stuff that I am using. So let's just say, yeah, I'm just saying, yeah. So basically I think it still makes sense. So I'm not very particular also with like, oh, I always have to use like this set of colors and everything. So I think it's nice because this was totally spontaneous and I did not expect this color to actually make sense until I put them on the spread. So yay. I'm also taking out some stickers that I made. This was for PaperCon last year. I made like sticker flakes of it. These are some of my mantras. So I think I'll be using them in the next couple of months. I think it's also nice to stick on it for the monthly spread. Now, if you're wondering, from the previous video, I didn't make a monthly spread because I thought I didn't need one, but looking back, I did have a hard time plotting out all my content and really use my journal as a tracker for it. So I decided to just put a monthly spread right now, because what I'm gonna do is, because of this monthly spread, I will be able to see everything at a glance, because I do have specific posting schedules. Usually I post on Tuesdays and Fridays, and then sometimes if I have extra videos, which I always do have extra videos, I tend to post them on Sundays and probably Wednesdays, it depends. But since I'll be seeing them here on a weekly, you know, on a monthly overview, I think it'd be easier for me to see which days I can film, which days have to be published, which days I should queue up my videos, because this past January, everything was kind of erratic, mostly because I was away. And because of that, I have been trying to set up a whole schedule. And since I'll be home for the whole month of February, hashtag finally, then I'll be able to monitor my my system and get into the organization zone at the least. Because ideally, if I don't fix my routine or my schedule, I feel like I am not a functioning human being, for the fact that I am very much reliable in terms of, you know, setting deadlines, reaching my schedule, and being able to sort of adapt from there. So yeah, this is my finished spread. Now let's move on to my labels, and I'm going to add some themes so that I know where to focus on. It's really, really important for me to know this. If not, I get really sidetracked and my focus sort of goes everywhere, and that's not really a good thing. So for the next spread, I'm doing, as usual, the YouTube tracker and login Instagram tracker. So the YouTube tracker is generally where I post updates on whether I posted it on other social media platforms like Instagram stories, and Facebook and or blog and or newsletter. It really depends. I feel like I tend to forget it most of the time. It's only this past January that I've become more affluent in this topic because I use Nichi to sort of edit my stories and make posts regularly. And it's also very hard because I just don't do content full time. So by being able to put out this sort of tracker, I'll be able to notify myself from time to time. So yeah, so there's that. I'm also using some washi tape to decorate the bottom part. This is by my good friend Kyla of Rainbowholic. I will link her shop down below if you're interested to order. I figured her washi tapes are actually mostly red and pink and very kawaii, so I thought it'd be nice to add this to my spread for this month. And I also love these minimalist washi tapes I picked up during PaperCon last year. I think it's by washisamples.ph. I'll also link it down below. So yeah, that's me counting the weeks, doing the highlights. You know, it's just, I don't know if it's just me that I've learned how to use highlighter first before text, mostly because it smudges and it's kind of satisfying actually. So yeah, that's me learning new things. I'm learning every day by doing bullet journaling. So I personally really love this spread because it's very, you know, red, gray, grid, very minimalist, and I love it. And yeah, that's just me adding a little more accents and labeling. By the way, the black pen I'm using here is actually a hidden gem. I got it at Miniso for, I think, it was 3 pens for 99 pesos. I don't remember, but I got it during my journaling on a budget video, and I've been using it nonstop. It's actually, for some reason, I like it better than Muji. So, I don't know. I find it very easy to write on, so I've been using that a lot for my bullet journals and my planners alike. So, then I'm just logging all the info for all the weeks for Instagram and blog. Good luck to me updating my blog because I have not updated my blog in ages. Probably like a month, but I would really want to sit down and do it. It's just that I've been busy doing more of the shop blog, so hopefully I get a lot more time. So this next spread is also new. I decided to add a shop Abbey Sy spread only because, again, when I look at the shop and I manage it, a lot of the social media content I don't get to take note of, and I end up getting another notebook. And again, the whole purpose of me putting up this social media and content management bullet journal is to actually lessen having another notebook, because the tendency is, let's say I leave my notebook in the office and in the studio, and then I forget to bring it home. Then I get like, oh, I have to start for another notebook, blah, 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 and I really don't want that to happen. And while I do have everything on my notes on my phone, it does get a lot of messy sometimes. Like right now, my notes app is really cluttered because it's not just my personal stuff, but I also have work stuff. I also have tracking stuff like links and whatever, and I feel like I really need this space to sort of, you know, prioritize also my shop. So when it comes to shop, I do have a lot on my mind, mostly in relation to marketing because that's what I'm really passionate about, but also in relation to the products that I want to make and the events that I want to whip up, the ideas that are on my mind, how to execute them, and sort of be able to sort of see them on this spread will help me achieve them, I would say. So yeah, that is the main purpose of this very minimalist spread. So again, I'm using I love these Mildliner brush pens. I've been using them also as highlighters because, you know, why not? It's also very smooth to write on. So I am starting with product ideas. I do have a lot on my sleeve in the next couple of months. I also have my campaigns, which means like marketing that I really want to promote. You know, I also have my Instagram content lineup that I really want to, you know, what products I have to push, what types of content would be most relatable to the viewer and the user. So there's that. And of course, we need all our expenses tracked. So I have my ad expenses tracker on the left side, which is similar to the one that I did before, but I already removed, I used to have like 3 different ones, but now I just put everything in one because I don't get the point of having like a Facebook one, Instagram one, and a miscellaneous one, because generally I don't spend a lot on either Facebook or Instagram, so I'd rather have the whole miscellaneous one just, you know, jotted right there, and I'll be able to see everything at a glance, and maybe I'll just label it accordingly if I need to, you know, categorize it, but I don't think it's gonna be a lot, so I think having it in this format would work best. So this washi tape that I'm using, it's also from Bando. I really love this brand. I think, yeah, most of the stationery I have are actually a mix of American, European, and Japanese, and it's hard because I'm also very picky with the stuff that I use, but I do know which ones I swear by. So referring back to the Instagram Insights tracker on the right side, you will see later on that I actually end up not filling the whole page, mostly because I've thought about it as well. Last month, I really was keen on recording my profile visits every day, and I was like, I really don't want to do that. It's really taxing. So I decided to just do it every week and have like a general consensus. Anyway, I have a business profile, so Instagram will be able to let me know like in a week's time how the performance went, and I think that is enough. I don't really think I need to stress over, you know, daily count. I don't think that matters. So then the bottom part, I just, instead of having a separate page for the monthly analysis, I decided to sort of put everything here, and I think it's such a great way to make everything concise. So you have their YouTube, Instagram, shop, and as well as my community, because I just made a group for hand lettering and journaling. So here I am labeling week 1, week 2, week 3, and week 4. So per week I am also writing the stuff that I need to write, so I know which ones would benefit most, but I would benefit from the most. So yeah, this is my February setup. Let me just wrap it up by adding more washi tapes, because we could all use a lot of washi tapes in our lives, basically. I feel like a page is so empty without it. So yeah, I ended up probably using most of it, which is good, I guess. I'll make sure to link all the materials I used here, as long as I can find them. Most of them I can still find, so that would be good. So yay, I am finished. No, I'm not finished. Let me just label it first. Okay, then let's have our flip through. Here you have the content ideas spread, the monthly spread, monthly overview for content calendar. You have the YouTube tracker, blog and Instagram tracker, shop Abbey Sy spread, which is basically an overview of my shop for the month, ad expenses tracker, Instagram insights tracker, and monthly analysis. So that's it for my February 2020 bullet journal setup. I hope you liked it or got some ideas and inspiration for your bullet journal. If you have ideas for my next theme, let me know in the comments below. I do have some on my mind, but I would really love to hear your feedback. Thanks again for watching this video, and I'll see you guys again soon. Bye!